Max Bull's
Well,
build. So.
speaking of the builds, let's go through them right now. So
Fantastic.
we have the Skurg H6 bomber with Captain Nim on board, which of course you can see because we did have a slight technical issue. The overlays didn't want to transfer today, so we've gotten a U-wing with its hull and shield upgrades added on to act as a placeholder for the Havoc because it's got the same
So it'll
stats.
be 5 and 5
Yep.
rather than 4 and 4.
Yep. And Lieutenant Kestrel apparently is just a Jakku gunrunner with, or Constable Zuvio at a heart with a shield instead of a hull. So yeah, that's what we're using as a placeholder today. Sorry that we can't have them prepared, but at least we have a way of displaying the proper
Something.
details. Yes.
Something.
Nim has veteran instincts, shoving him from 8 to technically a 10. So he's actually rolling at 10 today. We have Genius on board. So if you're equipped,
One of the first times I've seen this since its debut back in Most Wanted.
So go on, David. What does Genius do?
Well, you would have to be not a genius to stick this one on here. If you're equipped with a bomb that may be dropped when you reveal a maneuver, you may drop it after your maneuver instead. So effectively, it makes your so it's your mines, your all those sort of things that say, as you reveal your dial, drop it to make it go. I can drop it here or there.
Now, the funny part about Genius is the fact that Genius is in quotations, which is quite amusing because obviously
It's a
you
nickname.
don't really want to be dropping your bomb near you. You want to drop the bomb and run away with it.
well,
The
It feels
whole
like a
emphasis of
slogan
genius,
name.
the whole emphasis of Genius was the fact that you're going to reveal your bomb, but you may end up taking a hit because of
Well,
it.
it's also because it's a nickname for a droid, thus. But of course, I see the double meaning.
Yes.
It's
there.
like
However,
Chopper.
Yeah, I like Chopper.
because of Nim's ability, ladies and gentlemen, Nim's ability of ignoring friendly bombs, he doesn't matter. It doesn't care. Because of the fact he ignores his friendly bomb, even if he has Genius putting it after he revealed his maneuver, he won't get affected by his own
Yeah.
bomb.
Speaking of that, he's got bomblet generator on board. So when you reveal a maneuver, you may drop one bomblet token. It detonates at the end of the activation phase. When this token detonates, each ship at range 1 rolls 2 attack dice and suffers all damage, hits, and critical damage rolled. Then discard the token.
I find this
And we're in
incredibly...
asteroid. We're in turn
We're
zero.
in turn zero now.
Asteroid phase now. Okay, so clearly Robin set the first asteroid there, close to him. Good. It means he gets to lead Max into him. However, there goes the second one into Max's corner. Maybe he wants to try and mess up the setup formation there.
Actually, I know exactly because I've had a conversation with Robin about this. He's actually placing the asteroids in such a way that
None of it
he
can be
knows...
placed inside.
No, he knows where the range bound is between the other edge of the board, so he
Oh.
actually can use that as a marker point
Fascinating.
to know if he's able to K-turn or not.
Yeah.
I had this discussion with Robin. Really nice tactical placement in terms of using that as a keystone.
There's Max placing asteroid there. It's he clears to be wanting to mirror the field a little bit to give him a bit of extra maneuverability with Emon because Emon's a large ship. He wants the base maneuvering, and
He doesn't want things to be too close together because he won't be able to fit his base through. Again, Robin using those keystone placement asteroids to know when to K-turn and when not to K-turn. However...
Have you noticed one thing, though? Yes, he's got the corners in there, but look at that huge gap.
There is a huge
There is
gap.
a huge gap. That may be... You may find some...
I think you'll find Emon going through there. Well, coming from there and dropping a lot of bombs as he goes through asteroids. And maybe
Yes, but
even...
this could also play to Robin's advantage. Going into an open space will prove quite effective for not only his quick draw, but also his Darth Vader.
Yeah, what do you think, David?
Yeah, I think... Personally, I like seeing matches where there's a lot tighter asteroid placement. I've played ones where the asteroids are being tight.
This is very,
but
very
there's a
loose.
huge amount of
Ooh,
space.
Here's the first placement. Jakku gun runner going for the middle slot there. I think it's a good move on his button, basing on what he's going to be doing with it, which we are considering the Jakku gun runner. Quickly analysis for you. He's got a pattern analyzer, space tug tractor array, and that is it. It's only 19 points.
So he can reverse and still do his action and then apply the stress.
Yes.
They're very nice. Pattern, and of course, space tractor away as an action, you can tractor a ship.
Yep.
Very effective, especially in a list with bombs.
Exactly. This whole build was based around the fact that Jakku is probably going to be dropping his enemies into his bombs, and against 3 small ships, it's probably more likely than less likely.
8's the best I can do, Wojtek. I can only change the entire... Like, you'd change the entire values of the overlay if I change the if I could change the part skill. If we could have made them made in prepared, if they would have been here and prepared, then we could.
There would be another option.
That'd be another option, but unfortunately we don't. Okay, so it's odd to see a setup in the middle. That's very unusual for any list, let alone this. Do you think that could play into a strategy?
No. Obviously he's had to go first, so he's got to place somewhere. I feel like placing in the middle was the best bet because it means no matter which side Robin starts on, he knows to fly towards that direction.
Yeah, no, I've with my Kane Lebo list, I tend to fly Kane sort of right down the middle of the board, and then decide which side I want to put Lebo.
It's no surprise seeing the Empire ships so close together. Kestrel a bit. Is it Kestrel or Kestal?
I would say Kestrel because it's
it is Kestal.
it's Kestal. You made a typo.
I've been misspelling it. So it's Kestal.
It's Kestal.
Why couldn't they call it Kestrel? That'd be amazing. Lieutenant Kestrel.
Because then you have the hawk and another bird
Oh,
name,
of course.
and
Right.
the falcon.
All right. So yeah, we have Darth Vader near the far end with
The aggressor more towards the middle.
yeah. Well, I think that's fair. It needs to get close to go for its turret. It also means that while the enemy might focus on that, Darth and Quick Draw can flank potentially.
Now, here's a quite interesting thing. Notice that Max has started up quite close together. He's grouped his ships up. This may play towards a sort of a very quick group together.
Yeah.
In terms of if he flies them close together, he can then use the Jakku to barrel anything into the bombs he drops.
That's true.
Which is quite a clever play.
However, the issue with that is the bomblet generator does not discriminate. It will hit his own ships if he's not careful.
No, he won't. That was the downside. On Robin's side, he's spaced them rather kind of interestingly. He's given a little bit. Obviously, he's spaced the aggressor and the quick draw a little bit further apart because of the asteroid he's placed. But there's still quite a significant gap between the two. There's about a range one maneuver gap between each ship there. So I'm interested to see what Robin's ploy is from the get-go.
Well, there goes the Jakku runner and Captain Nim rolling up, and there's a focus token taken by both of them. Emon
Is Nim meant to go?
that's what I thought.
Nim's 10.
Nim is 10.
Nim is 10. Did he backwards that? He backwards that a little bit.
He backwards that.
We'll let them slide.
It's a
on
casual
this one.
game
It's a
this
casual
one.
game.
But
It's
there's a
But when
focus
it
token.
starts to interrupt with their attacks,
Then we'll start to interfere. But it's not going to interfere much at this point, unless we see.
I don't think it'll
Emon
interrupt
bomb.
on the first turns, but just for future reference,
Yeah.
Cap Nim's meant to go last, and then Emon's meant to go second.
Although if this was Saturday, I'll be through there like a shot.
yes.
Hold on!
I expect you to be through there like a shot as well, because you're our TO. Well, you're a judge.
I'm
for the
your
day.
head judge, so I'm
Yeah.
going to be having fun with rulings all day.
Yeah, how's Java working out for you?
God, don't do it.
You just wanted to say that all night, didn't you?
I thought I'd get out of the way.
No, I've already had like 2 people ask me about it, so
Really?
yes.
Have you decided on a ruling?
We've kind of gone.
We've kind of discussed it.
We have discussed it, and in fact, we even mentioned it briefly on stream the other night. Is that
Yeah.
we are going in the idea that yes, Jabba can be other ships and Jabba can use his tokens, and they can even use it when he's dead because of the section. Of the
Basically,
rules.
we're ruling it as intended rather than as rules
Well,
written.
but the rules are still followed because of what we ascertained.
There's a little bit of section in the actual booklet itself,
Yeah.
so we're gonna use that as reference
Yes.
as well. If there are, however, I'm not gonna make any official ruling until the day either because it's probably not gonna turn up. And I won't want to actually rule it until someone brings it up. I feel like that's a better call.
Right.
However, I think it might be worth mentioning at the start of the day. Then you have it.
Well, if
everyone across the
people
battlefield.
know about it anyways,
or you ask the question,
I feel like
how many
if
people have bought Jabba? None. No further
I'll
comment
bring
needed.
I may bring it up on the day. I don't feel like it's I don't feel like it's going to be too much of a problem anyways.
I have to admit, the Astro the maneuver here from Robin has meant that he's got a clear field to go whatever direction he wants. to catch him out.
This is what I was thinking. He's going towards the open playing field first. He's not going. However, I feel like Max is going to try and draw him through those asteroids. There goes the Jakku Gunrunner.
Yeah, and
He's going to have to bank. He's going to have to bank to. Robin's going to have to bank to his right.
Oh, there's an interesting barrel there.
Ooh,
He's
can he
not.
fit there?
No.
I don't think he can. He
no,
cannot
he
fit
cannot.
there. That's a shame. That could mess up the entire movement because unless Emon is going left, I mean, he could do a tight turn to the right and bump anyway, but he might risk an asteroid bump there. Well, no, he's going left.
No, I thought exactly this is what he was going to do. He's bringing Robin into the asteroid field. It means closer space, which means it can draw him more into bombs.
And drop the bombs and then make sure they go off.
Yeah.
In fact, what is the bombs that... so Emon's actually got cluster mines on him, as well as Cad Bane and the Slave 1 title with extra munitions.
So he can drop
he
two
drops
lots
of bombs, and that's it.
He can close off 2 avenues of escape for Robin's list. There is, of course, Lieutenant Kestal doing a 1 bank. It looks like that he's going to succeed in pulling Robin into the asteroid field. Robin's going to think what he's going to do. That looks like a focus token just placed there.
So, looking at I'm going to quickly look at the Imperial list, because we didn't get a quick chance to go over that. We've got one aggressor, which is Lieutenant Kestal. He has Deadeye, a lightweight framer, and a synced turret.
So he can fire that turret.
Fire that turret with a focus or a target lock. He can choose which one he wants. The quick draw, the TIE SF, has expertise, special ops training, fire control system, and a lightweight frame.
Speaking of quick draw, there was just a target lock there taken from quick draw, just barely within range of the quad jumper. Range 3,
but it will be through that asteroid as well.
It will be through the asteroid.
Finally, moving Darth Vader there, measuring up for that target lock. Not gonna get it this time by the looks of things.
Yeah.
So probably just focus that.
No engine upgrade on Vader, which is
engine
unusual.
upgrade on Vader, which is very interesting. To be honest, though, I do find engine upgrade quite the luxury these days. It's one of those things that you either have or you don't.
Yeah. What were you saying, David?
Can't remember. One thing I was going to make a point out of is, obviously, for those who weren't watching the unboxing, you notice the fact that Robin's flying it and there is not 2 TIE SFs.
His signature 2.
He's played 2 or 3 before.
We have advanced sensors being played right now on the Havoc. The Havoc is performing a barrel roll before it maneuvers.
I think this is probably to get out of the horrible beginning of not being able to barrel out of the way. Maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. However, there is a lovely rock in front of him right now, so...
he needs to be careful of speed.
He's going for a controlled bump, which I think it's a good shout.
Well, if he would have stayed where he was, he would have been on the asteroid, so I think that's actually quite
I think
wise.
he was going to use the Jakku runner as a bump instead.
I think he's...
Actually, I don't know, actually. It's kind of hard to say
could
what I was
barrel the other
thinking
way.
on that one.
I think he's been smart with the Jakku gun runner, but he unfortunately, because of the lack of the barrel, he's not been able to pull the Jakku gun runner, because, it means that...
he was trying to get out of the way of the shot, basically.
Yeah.
So he's about to take 2 lots of shots rather than 1.
And here comes
the first volley from the TIE SF. 3 dice there. Very nice.
4 hits on the Jakku with expertise, of
There's
course.
the expertise. Here comes the 4 dice return as the extra 2. That's a lot of things. That's 3 evades, ladies and gentlemen. That means the Jakku safe for another day.
Ooh, I wouldn't want to call that, would you, David?
No.
Well,
bearing in mind, I lost a Protectorate on a 4 focuses.
Measuring up
range 3 to a bomber.
Measuring up the potential range 2 shot there. I believe he is using... He wanted to use the sync turret. He's only using 2 attack dice, so I'm assuming it was not. It's just using his primary.
2. So yes, it's primary. Only 1 hit. There's 1 evade. The the quad jumper is fine.
However, he's making the shot back at the aggressor.
Well, why not?
Why not? He's got this thing in his sights. However, it will be a wonderful 3 dice versus his 2. Ooh, that was nice.
Hitting a crit. That's not bad. Well, that's just evaded.
That's fine, just evaded.
Just barely, though.
There's a 2 there.
And on 4 dice, so he only found 50% of them.
Well, there was a focus in there which he could have spent, but we've all had it where we've rolled so many dice and blanked out on them.
Yes, no.
Yeah,
all too often.
My reference to last night, I had a 2 health points left on my Protectorate Starfighter. This is on a idea from Wojtek, which we'll deal in at a later point. Range 3 shot from the bomber. No missiles, nothing like that. So 2 dice primary.
Not a sponsor of other drinks available downstairs.
Yes. We had that comment with the other Chris, didn't we, in a tournament? Anyway, 2 dice.
Go behind me.
2 dice from the bomber's primary. Range band 3 against the Protectorate Starfighter. With auto thrusters, I must add. So the shot came in, 1 critical. I had to only find a blank or an evade. I found 4 focuses at range 3. And I taloned that turn, so I was stressed as well.
That's painful.
And then I took a direct hit. All the eggs in one go.
Well, I don't know.
It's very tricky. At the moment, Max's plan is obvious. He wants to draw Robin into the asteroid field where it's close space. He's more likely to get him involved in a bomb.
I wonder if the Jakku gun runners...
Robin doesn't want to do this. He was originally planning to go for the open space and attack there, which he's less likely to get bombed by. But because of this, he's had to change his strategy slightly. I'm interested to see how Robin plays this out.
Yeah, because I'm concerned about the Jakku gun run, because if he turns to draw, he's going to get caught by 1 or 2 or even 3. Nope, he's doing what I would recommend, which is turn into the engagement, start messing things up.
Yep, he is going to
Action
try and
tracker.
barrel roll that son of a...
I don't know,
son of a TIE
I think
fighter.
space... Yeah, space...
There it
tug
is, the
tra-
space tug tractor array. Exactly what I was hoping he'd do. I'm
boost.
hoping he will barrel roll him towards that asteroid on either side. So if he does do the forward maneuver, he's more likely to...
Yeah, and there's Kestal.
Where are you gonna put him?
Or you push him forwards.
There we go. Exactly what I wanted him to do.
I agree. That might even get him in range of a turret shot from Nim. Does Nim have a turret on board him?
We
He
will
synced-
find
I
out. I think he has a
think
sync turret. He
does not.
No, he does not. So he's relying on that 3 dice primary instead.
Well, hopefully the asteroid will do something.
To be honest, though, he's pretty hefty. He's already got a pretty hefty amount on there already. He spent 6 points on the advanced sensors and the bomblet generator, and then a single one on the veteran instincts. He's already 37 points. He doesn't really want to spend too much more on a turret as well.
Here
But
comes
again,
Emon.
Here comes
Pilot
Emon.
skill 10 for that points value. Yes, please.
Oh,
Yes, exactly. Emon coming around there, starting to bank towards the engagement now. Shame that he couldn't fit the engine upgrade to try and bank him further in, but I feel like he doesn't want to at this point. There's an asteroid cleanly in his way.
Oh,
Oh dear.
well, I would say that would save the Jakku gun run, but unfortunately, Sync Turret does work out of arc, but he won't get rerolls with it.
No, and it's quite interesting that he's going to go for the focus result there when he's heading towards a asteroid. He might be able to avoid it, being that he can do
Thing
it
is,
too hard.
if he were to barrel the other way, he might end up in Emon's firing arc.
Yeah, definitely.
And here comes, hello, quick.
That Jakku is starting to look less alive the more I look at it.
More spectral force ghost at this point now.
Oh god, this poor Jakku.
This very poor
This very poor
Jakku.
Jakku. Do you think that? So I've got an interesting thing for you. I recently built a list before this wave came out with 2 bombers, and they both were stacked with bombs. Do you think 2 bombers is too many?
Apparently 4 could be too many, because it's doable.
What do you think?
So obviously I played this list. I found that my Punisher, because it was a Punisher, a bomber, and quick draw.
Oh, I've played this
You've
list
seen
a couple
this,
of times.
Yeah, you played it. You played
a
against me. It's a really nice,
list.
interesting list. But I feel like 2 is too many. In my analogy, I feel like because you want to be bombing
Ho ho!
with both of them, you find yourself clumped up a lot.
That
so.
3 turn around the asteroid. Look at that.
Oh, that was very beautiful.
Which is red, though.
It is red.
Is it
was
red?
it?
Yes.
I believe it's the Talon that's red.
Both of them
3
are
red. You are correct.
Oh, in that case, I can't take a focus.
I will quit.
I will do that.
Yep, you go do that.
I was remembering on the dial because of my comment about the unhinged astromech.
Unless he did it too hard. I think he did too hard, Dave.
I don't know. Could be a 2. Could have been a 2. It's
Because
large ships is 3 to get around most asteroids. So
yeah, but he's a small ship, isn't he?
exactly,
So,
exactly. But it's much narrower and much tighter, and it's not one of the bigger asteroids.
No,
as well.
no. Speaking of which, first scum ship to have a Talon roll.
Woohoo!
Really cool.
No, Protectorate Starfighter.
Can they, I thought they could. They
They can Talon.
Oh, they can Talon. Second ship to have a Talon roll.
But yeah, I was saying actually, it would be nice to actually take this in Rebels and like.
It was too hard, wasn't it?
Yes.
Thought so. This guy got it right.
No, it was a 3 hard.
Oh, it was a 3 hard.
Yeah, that's why the stress is now applied to him. Don't know why he's still got the focus though. That's unusual to me.
Do you want to go secondly correct this?
Advanced sensors. I think they've agreed upon that.
Okay,
okay.
cool. That makes more sense.
3 hits.
Ooh.
So lightweight.
He's got
frames
the lightweight
indicate-
flame to try and help himself. Why is he re-rolling?
Why are you rerolling?
He's not. He hasn't rolled them yet.
Oh, now he's saying that there is lightweight frame, and then
Whoa! How many defense dice does that have?
2
Base.
base.
That should be 3.
That's unusual. I don't know what happened there.
That should be 3.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Pretty sure he rolled them and then re-rolled them.
I will go and check that one out as well.
Just find that one out. I am confused.
But yeah, sorry. looking at the dial on here, it brings me back to the Wookiee gunship. I don't know if you noticed this.
Just going to stop you there because there is an attack being made, even though there's a little bit of misconception at the moment. We'll work that out. Looking at the moment to be a hit and 2 focus.
No, I know why it was 2. He's been tractor beamed.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless it's range. But it's not range.
I know it's.
You put the dice out and then roll them.
Oh, okay.
I got confused.
And
the reason
also
why
tractor
it was 2
beamed.
was tractor beamed.
Yeah, and yes,
That's why we figured it out. So it's fine. It's all good. We figured it out.
But yeah, one comment I did.
Oh, here comes Jakku. Oh, taking 4 damage. In fact,
5.
4 damage.
One hit and it's dead. Wow.
Dead.
How come he? Why did he take 5? I'm confused.
Target lock, maybe range 1.
Yeah, but there was only 4 attack dice, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Let's just let them continue because this is just going on and on.
Comments. Twitch. Can you just explain this to us if you remember anything? But
All right,
be great.
here comes an attack. Here comes an attack roll. So we have a hit. There's an evade.
There's
there.
one evade.
So
the Skurg is losing a couple shield. One shield there.
shield.
Doing alright so far. Regardless, that Jakku fighter was dead though.
Oh yes,
I don't think it was gonna live.
Oh yes.
I think it just took
3
way
hits,
too many hits.
1 crit direct hit. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So there's nothing there, and there's a full evade.
Nicely done.
From Vate, it's the very, very well nicely done.
I do feel like because of the maneuvers Max did to try and draw him into the asteroids, it left the Jakku fighter a bit too out in the open.
Yeah.
Also meant Emon couldn't attack.
Well,
which is really...
Emon's been out of the game. He's your big damage. He's one of your big damage dealers.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the 3 dice primary on his attack, and also
the bombs.
If he's not bombing, then he's not doing his job.
I think.
I feel like he's taken Emon out of the fight. I know he wants to separate them because of the Skurg and the bomber.
Personally,
but it's just kind of, it may have not worked in his favor.
Personally, I think he waited too long to go and start going through the asteroid field. He should have turned immediately beyond that asteroid to on the far upper left there.
Now, here's an interesting thing. Robin knows that Skurg is right in front of him, and he's probably going to go in and drop a bomb. So right now, Robin needs to plan very carefully about where he wants to go. All his ships are going towards that gap, and Max is probably going to be dropping a bomb in that gap.
And let's not forget, that thing can move.
That thing can move.
It can move. It's got a 4 forward. It can do a 5 forward if it wanted to.
It's stressed.
It's stressed at the moment. So
That's true. So
arguably, it wants to do probably a 2 bank right now. To put itself in a nice position.
I think a 3 forward actually would be just about fine as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You might clip a little bit though.
I think a 2. Although I do agree, a 2 bank would be
a 2 bank
be
might
better.
be nice. I feel like a 2 bank would be nice. It's just enough to get in that gap, and just enough to put it in a nice position.
The problem is, everyone else moves first, so there is the potential
only
to
a
block.
1 bank.
I don't know if that's.
I feel like you should have 2-hearted.
I agree.
I feel like you should have 2-hearted.
Well, if you're 2-hearted, I think you might be pressing against that asteroid. But I agree that I think you need to get him back in the fight.
You need to get back in the fight. Oh, he's going to... Ooh. I mean, he could be going for the block maneuver here.
I think the block is what he's aiming for.
Because right now, the 2 bank now becomes less likely because of that maneuver.
The 1 straight is a bump. A 2 bank is a bump.
Yeah.
2 bank one way is asteroid.
Robin is going to limit all the options.
Now here comes the 3 straight off the table near enough.
Now, this is very, very interesting. How...
Could he go over the asteroid but still drop the bombs?
He can't drop the bomb at all because
Genius.
to begin with. We can't drop the bomb to begin with because A, it's an action.
It's not an action. Bomb generator is on reveal, and Genius can with Genius you can drop it after you finish your maneuver. So he could literally 2 bank, not land, and still drop that bomb.
That is true.
In fact, even if he lands on it, he probably could drop that bomb.
Because it's still after you reveal the maneuver. And even if you bump, you can still do it. Oh, going for the 3 hard there.
I think he might have actually...
I think he done it.
I think he's made it.
Oh my... But he's put himself in a really awkward position.
I don't know, because it means that he gets to drop the bomb
and drops it,
and gets an attack on them, and he ignores the bombs anyway.
He does. He does indeed. Here we go.
And Cad Bane.
Oh, if no, Cad Bane's on Emon.
Yeah, but Cad Bane works on when friendly as like Sabine.
Yep. Anywhere. So
Maybe
yep.
ship. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good shout.
Completely
That's
legit.
a good shout. That's
So,
a good. Oh,
Look at that
interesting.
right there.
So
I
go
don't
on.
know. That's a good position or not.
What's your-
There's the bomblet though.
What's your target for modding then? Your primary number 1, if they all roll exactly the same.
Here's the genius. Look at that. That is beautiful. Who do you want to go for first though? Like,
Well, David asked the question. What do you think, Chris? I personally think Darth Vader is always a tempting target.
Darth Vader is always the biggest tempting
But
target
quick
of a
draw.
lot of them. Quick draw is
Thing
very.
is, quick draw would then lose a shield,
Gain a shot.
gain a shot. So, which I guess it removes it. I don't know.
If it's going to get 2 attacks in one turn, make it...
Make
He
sure it
landed
dies.
He landed at least.
Because
so
he's going to lose it for the bomb, and he's got a range bound 1 primary. You see what I'm saying here?
They're checking range for everything. I believe they're saying that quick draw is maybe out.
I don't know.
That's
There's the
Captain
Nim.
Nim.
There's the Nim.
So Nim is going to stop himself
No,
from
they're
taking
using the
damage.
right. They didn't have the right tokens. They're using a. Oh
No, they are.
That's
They
the
used
right token.
It's more of looks like Nim landed and not. Didn't think so. He's doing for Vader first.
Doing Vader first. A blank and a hit.
Does he want to Cad Bane that?
Cad Bane will only get 1 max.
He loses. He's opting not to Cad Bane.
So,
There's the quick draw.
This is the one I would go for. If it guarantees 2,
There's
he's got
2
2 anyway.
hits. Nice. 2 shields. However, because of timing, quick draw does get to make his free attack now.
So quick draw's lost 2 shields.
He's lost 2 shields.
This is fantastic. It means that he can strip the last one off quick draw before the next
Exactly.
round.
This is what I was saying. This is why I would make him target priority number 1.
Here comes
for
the
this.
here comes the 4 dice attack primary. This could. Oh, that looks painful.
Oh, that's hit crit there.
That's 3 hits and a crit.
Yeah.
That's painful. And oh no,
Expertise.
that's the expertise. So it means he changed 1 to a hit.
At the very least, all
There's the fire
fire
control
control.
system.
He's
So he's
getting
getting
everything.
everything he can get off this. That's such a good ploy by him.
Nim needs to kill quick draw before quick draw gets to his attack. There's one evade in there, so all but one
So,
shield is removed,
yeah.
I believe.
But this is why Nim is so good. He's got so much bulkness to him.
Elliot, that's not necessarily going to happen with quick draw. It's 4 dice against 4 hit points left.
It's true.
There's the Cad Bane. He's opting to use it on
What's the last one?
Aggressor.
It's the last
So
one,
there we go.
2 hits.
Very nice, very nice. It's another that's
Well,
a shield and a
Kestrel already had quick draw shield removed, so I guess it's... Oh, yeah, of course it did. So, 2 hull left. Kestrel is nearly dead.
Kestrel's hurting.
Kestel is nearly dead. It's
Kestrel's
amazing.
hurting. You're saying me making me say Kestrel now.
Sorry.
God damn
Sorry.
you.
Right, here comes the attack from Nim. I imagine onto quick draw.
Mm-hmm.
Spend the focus to convert those up. You're at least stripping the shields away.
Are we
Well,
gonna
maybe.
maybe? Here comes 3. We're looking for.
Oh my.
There's the lightweight.
jeez.
If he spends, he keeps it.
He keeps it.
Quick draw gets his attack next round if he loses a shield. However,
Yeah, because though he needed to strip it this round because else he wouldn't be able to get the
well,
once per round.
however,
thing.
Emon Azami might have something to say about that.
Depending if he's in arc or not, and also range. There comes the 4 dice primary from quick draw.
Reroll.
It's going to. There's the fire control system playing out again there, spending the target lock, but also not spending the target lock.
Blank.
Oh, blank. But there's the
Expertise.
there's the
again.
expertise. 3 hits. Can Nim evade 1? No. So it's another 3 hits down. That is 3 damage cards to the. Oh,
Two.
2 damage cards on the
'Cause there's
shield.
one
Yeah,
shield
there's one
left,
shield
yeah.
left. Yes. That he's hurting now.
Yeah.
He's hurting now.
He's right in that slot to be killed.
And Darth Vader.
Here comes Darth Vader.
Yeah,
There's the free crit from his advanced targeting computer.
this could be Havoc.
This could be Havoc gone.
Oh,
With dice rolls like that, maybe.
He's got to find 1
He's got to find 1.
and hope for weak crit.
he's got to focus. He can spend it to survive. Which why wouldn't you? Actually, no. He's got
He
no
has
focus.
no focus.
He's got no focus. He's dead.
There's the 3. There's the Havoc
And
gone.
the Havoc is removed.
Didn't people were just saying like about 5 minutes ago that this is the
He
most
needed to
survivable
kill-
and the most tankiest?
He needed to kill quick draw there for
Oh
it
yes,
to work.
yeah. Sorry, what was that, David?
I was going to say, weren't we just talking about like 5 minutes ago about how Havocs are potentially the biggest and most tankiest things out there?
But when you're
They are quite tanky,
but
but,
when you're
you've got
focused down-
3. Yeah, you got three big things going on.
Spend that. Go on.
Yes, Frick. New ships are out today.
Well, that's the last shield route of the quick draw at the very least.
Well, at least he's got something out of it.
That's good. That he needed that. He needed to do that.
7, 9. One advantage for Max. He has 1 hit point extra at the current stage, but he doesn't have pilot skill. But he does have bombs and Cad
Here
Bane.
comes Kestrel. Here comes Kestrel's attack. Technically, Kestrel should have shot first, but never mind.
Actually, no, because Kestel's... Kestel hasn't... Yeah,
Kestrel
Emon,
should have shot first,
Yeah.
but there we go. He might have the asteroid in his way, though, so, it could be possible that... here comes the sync turret. Spending the focus. Very nice.
It is in the way. As you can see, 3 dice.
There's everything that he used. There's 3 dice. There's an evade. Did he get the focus? Nope, there goes
2 shields.
a couple shields off Emon as a mean.
How long has it been since us 3 were in the booth together?
Too long.
Yeah, too long.
I think the question you should be asking is, how long has it been since I was last in the booth?
Well...
It probably also answers the same question to when all 3 of us were in the booth.
Yeah.
I know we made a partial appearance in January when we had our epic Game 5 in the January tournament.
Mm-hmm.
We've done an unboxing together. Wave 9.
Yes.
This is not looking at all good for Max.
I don't... Max has been incredibly unlucky with dice. Robin's played this very well.
Could we see Emon just blast forward, then catch rear arc shots? Maybe?
Honestly, No. Emon's in the wrong position to try and get the rear arc shot.
I agree.
He would need to... Honestly, I feel like he should have done the too hard on his last maneuver.
I completely agree with you.
However, if he does do this big, fast maneuver...
Admittedly, it might have meant he was... sorry.
With Amon's ability, a 3 hard bomb drop with clusters...
There's an asteroid this way.
No. If he nips through, if he can get through and then do a 3 hard bomb placement...
You mean a 3 bank?
Oh,
but no.
That is unfortunate. We're at asteroid placement here. On the clip on the asteroid. Unfortunate.
I hate to say it, but I saw that coming.
There's a hit.
I saw that coming.
That's
Oh no.
Such a shame for Max.
Oh no. That's horrifying.
And
That's not what Max needed now.
He might have blocked quick draw though.
He might have blocked quick draw, which is good for him.
Here's
But
a
why would
K-turn.
quick draw
Here's
go
the
that
K done
way?
from the aggressor, which actually puts the aggressor in a really good position to shoot Emon.
Actually, no. If he blocks anyone, he'll block Vader. But quick draw's probably gonna go for the aim up for the rear.
Honestly, I
Exactly. I would
feel
go
like
left with quick draw anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like
The rear
Vader's
arc.
just gonna maybe K-turn.
Can't K-turn the asteroids there.
He's done it away, which is
He's ducking away, which is probably the right move.
Mm.
He should probably. He didn't want to go towards Emon because of obviously bombs.
Yeah.
And obviously, I feel like that's some good stuff there. Put himself behind the asteroid.
I was going to
so
say,
he's
and
not in
also
a
because he
bad
gets the
spot.
2 actions for free, I wouldn't be surprised to see a target lock here.
Easily. There you go. Look at that. He's taking every advantage he can from Emon going on the asteroid.
Exactly. He could K-turn next turn, have a target lock, and just go, I don't care. And just try and pummel stuff.
And yep, exactly as we thought.
Exactly as I thought. There's the too hard. He utilised the barrel roll to get out of the way so that quick draw can come in and use the. He's now got 2 free shots
Actions
on a.
target lock because he's got expertise.
He's now got 2 free shots on.
Yep.
On Emon because of that asteroid land.
With full mods because expertise and target lock.
Yeah. He is not in a great position right now.
Me and Robin always keep saying it. SF, sorry, weakest one of the wave. Sorry.
No, it wasn't nowhere near the one of the weakest ones.
Yeah, everyone said it was. Everyone said it was.
Jakku was.
Well, yeah, Jakku was, but
I feel like the Jakku was the weakest of that wave.
But everyone said it was the SF.
Oh god, no! That ship was way too
And there's
brilliant. For what it was.
three hits.
It was the most uninteresting on first glance, I will admit. But after people have played around, look how much it's shone. Look how much it's just shone through.
We are now half points on Emon as a
I'm not going to say this as a harsh thing. I've only ever seen it done well when Robin's been flying it.
I disagree.
I've seen other people do it well.
Because
Sam Scott used to play the electronic baffle version.
There's an evaded roll there.
Vader roll,
Well-
very nice. Emon needed that.
Okay, with the so-called Robin special, this is where I'm specifically
Farndon
thinking.
special,
The
yeah.
Farndon special. Michael took it to escalation. Hangar Bay. He took it to the Hangar Bay tournament at Euros. I stood next to him game 1 and he lost with it.
So?
It seems like Robin's the veteran.
Just because one person does very well with it doesn't mean other people can't do well with it.
Granted. I'll happily admit that. But, it seems to work really well with Robin and plays really well into Robin's play style.
I mean, one of the reasons why my list, the double bomb list that I said about, did rather well was because I added a quick draw to it. It needed that extra bit of kick.
It's the firepower.
Right. Emon will move first. I think a forward, maybe 2, and then do a 3 hard drop bomb on top of quick draw.
Yeah, and if it's
that's quite a good shout. Otherwise, I'd have said. Otherwise, I'd have said a bank maneuver might do just as good as well.
Yeah, bank. Things a bank. If a bank would probably catch Vader at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like if he does a bank maneuver, he can probably get a couple of them. But just remember, it is cluster mines, so he might not. It depends on how far they will stretch.
And it's also
There's the bank.
He's banking.
Oh, I'm glad I called that. Look at that. I don't think he might be able to get the 3 hard there.
I think I can see that Kestel's going to come in and just wreck house, but we'll see.
He's got to drop it.
Can he get it? Can he get it?
Hasn't he?
Come on.
No, he's not. I don't. I personally think actually that 3 hard won't catch it. Now looking at it,
I think it would personally. I think
it'll just be out.
I think it would. I think at least the leftmost bomb would catch it.
Probably.
If he doesn't catch that,
But right now,
he's taking it back.
Okay.
He's reconsidering. If
it doesn't catch quick draw,
he's going for it.
He's going for it.
So if he doesn't catch quick draw,
he's using Emon as ability. Come on, let's see some bombs.
Yeah, David, what's it?
If he doesn't catch quick draw,
he's at least blocked off an avenue.
He's blocked off potentially Lieutenant Kestel, who is in range.
No, so close so far.
Who is in range to die off the bomb.
That's what I thought. I didn't think it was close enough. The 3 hard didn't cover that gap. It was a good shout though. Like it was a very good chance, but you got to remember how. If it was a 2 hard bomb, maybe.
Okay.
But,
now Kestel is in a big problem here because he can't turn right. If he does, he's got to risk probably hitting the mines.
So he can't. He can't head towards that gap, and he can't head towards the right at all because of the asteroid. He's in a good spot right now. He's not in a too bad spot right now.
He's next turn.
Yeah, next turn he's turning left. He can't head towards those bombs. Unless he can get through that small gap.
It would be a risk, and it's possible, but even then... Do you want to call it?
You would have to do, I think you'd have to get close and then try and barrel roll.
In all weird honesty, I'd probably actually just go on the asteroid. The asteroid's just going to suffer me 1 damage over the multitudes of damage the bombs would.
Is it?
Oh,
if you roll a crit?
Here's a sloop from Quick Draw.
Unless that crit is a direct hit,
exactly.
You're less likely to get it. In terms of
odds, definitely.
I would probably, if I was to choose one or the other, I'd go for the asteroid. Saying that though, I would probably try and go for maybe a 1 bank to start with, and then go for a full maneuver. I feel like you can fit it just in that gap.
He's a cage from Vader, so he'll be shooting at range 3 if he's in.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's in range. I think he's just beyond.
I think
do a slow green, get your focus and your target lock.
I think if anyone's at range 3 right now, it's the
Is it?
No.
But is a range 3 shot through an asteroid? With the
At range 3 as well, it gives Emon a chance to get extra dice and survive this.
4 evade dice.
Well, with rolls like that, do you need... Well,
There's the target lock.
Yep.
Fire control system.
Hit.
He doesn't have the focus.
There it is. Hit, crit. 4 dice. Come on, Emon. We need you to start living.
Nope.
That's
evade. There's 2 evades in there, so at least he's only taking a crit, although that could be direct.
I think that was a focus, actually.
Yeah, that's the 2 he's got. There's the crit. It's a damage cockpit. He moves at particle 0. That probably actually helps him.
It doesn't, because he's the lowest pilot skill anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Actually. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, if it was me, at this point I'd go...
It just does nothing.
Does it really matter?
It doesn't
At this
do
point,
anything.
does it really matter?
Yeah.
It does still, because in terms of game,
because it could happen.
gameplay.
Synced turret is now being fired by... is that an arc? I think that is, just barely. So we get some rerolls out of this. 3 dice. Well,
doesn't
you know,
need to,
doesn't
you know?
need to reroll. And again, hit, crit. Someone check those dice.
Rice have been on fire since
And
I've
there's
last
an
played.
evade.
There's one evade. It's kill or be killed at this point. There's one. There's a crit. Is it direct?
Major
no.
explosion.
Major explosion.
And it's another hit. He's all right, I think. You think he's there? He's
There
dead.
we go.
Boom.
And that's game.
That's game.
Bit of a whitewash.
Pretty
Hey,
much.
I'm done
yeah.
in
Bit of a
30
wa-
minutes.
Yeah.
Bit of a
40 minutes.
whitewash.
Yeah. Really quick and
So you know that
yeah.
you know that our conversation is about having 2 bombers being too much.
Big and bulky.
No, it's just the conversation about 2 bombers being too much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this game kind of puts my point forward. He was focusing too much on trying to get 2 bombs going, and not enough on trying to get some attacks done.
I don't think that was the issue, Chris. I think it was his maneuvers.
Obviously, the maneuvers helped. I say there's loads of
If you
things
got
that helped
Maneuvers
towards
and
that.
Robin's
Dice rolling was really good.
the quick draw.
Um,
The consistency on quick draw, man. You
Oh,
know?
God,
He
the
did-
quick
he
draw
didn't-
consistency
the
was
thing
way
is,
too.
when the Jakku died, that was all he had there. If he'd have gone right rather than turning left, he'd at least had some backup and cover. And that cover could have been enough. Especially if like that removed a shield of quick draw, and then you go, "Hey, quick draw, your only viable target for a shot is this thing that I know is
Then
now
again, I've
going
just
to
thought of a
die."
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Then again, I just thought of a counter argument to my argument.
Go on.
The double K-wing bombers,
Triple gaming.
triple K-wing bombers. You know,
Mm.
so you know, there's obviously arguments for and against.
Yeah,
So
my saying double bombers. I really want to fly Rebel Nim and Donnie
yeah,
and do a similar thing like here. So have Cad Bane, also a Cad Bane, and in this case Sabine Wren.
well, Rebel Nim once per round you may prevent a friendly bomb from detonating. Could go work well with the double.
BJ says the quad should have reversed or slooped after that turn right into 3 shots. I think he's destroyed by those 3 shots anyway. So
To be honest, he got himself surrounded there. It was pretty
Yeah.
hectic. It wasn't pretty at all.
had he barrel rolled, it probably would. If he made him make that barrel roll, it probably would have been very different.
Yeah. A few things that went against Max there. The landing on an asteroid that one turn with Emon meant he couldn't make a shot that turn. I mean, he wouldn't make the shot at that turn anyways. They're all out of his arc, but that really did not contribute to the fact that he couldn't do anything for a while. The placement of this initial startup as well was not brilliant.
No.
I feel like he separated his forces too much. And because he separated his forces too much, it meant basically one ship after the other came in, and it was like 3 ships, bonk, bonk,
Yeah,
bonk.
yeah. I agree.
It was like Pac-Man.
It's the exact
Nice
show.
analogy.
Nice analogy. It's an exact showing of that ships do get focused down, and when they're focused down, they die.
Yeah.
You need to bring everything to bear and try and remove a ship before you are. I mean, had that last hit gone against Quickdraw, he would have removed Quickdraw from the field, and that would have probably changed
Oh yeah,
things
definitely.
dramatically.
That would have completely changed the playing field. He needed the 2 hits against Quickdraw to work. If they did, he would have been in a much more optimal position. But because of the range between Emon and him, it was less likely.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, this game...
Exactly, Bruton. David. The Havoc did literally every single bit of damage. Actually, no, I don't think that was quite right. Emon did a little bit.
Emon did a little bit.
Emon
And the
did a
Jakku
little
did
bit, and
one.
the Jakku did 1 damage as well. The majority of the damage was done by the
Yeah.
Havoc in terms of the bomblet generator, which was displayed beautifully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, David. you continue.
So this actually is this game itself brings us on to 2 nice points. One, Saturday,
Yes.
which is our store championships, which you will see all of us in some sort of action. We've got our TO.
Well,
Right.
half TO.
Half TO, half...
T.O. Judge, you know.
Exactly. And obviously Judge and part of commentary crew. So,
Yes. Yeah.
and then we've obviously made our point to say that Wave 11 is not legal,
No, if you're
Wave
watching
11
this, Wave
yeah.
11 is not legal for the event.
So you cannot use these ships.
or
I'm
any
sorry.
upgrades
or any upgrades.
that are unique to Wave 11.
Yep. If you turn up with one of these, we'll ask you very nicely saying, have you got a different list? Because unfortunately they are not legal for this event. That's because the 11-day rule is in accord.
Yes.
Which is not the case in the United States. So if you're watching this in the States, check with your TO about whether the legality of well, if you're living anywhere in the world, always check with your TO. Are these legal? Is generally the idea.
Yep. But there will be something very soon after that is Wave 11 legal, which I've been staring at all evening, Elliot.
Of course, the tankard of victory.
So,
It is
not only of
just
you
a
joining
shame.
us tonight, you'll be joining us on Saturday. You'll also then be joining us on Wednesday night for the first tankard challenge.
The tankard challenge.
I wish I could take part.
Part of me wants to, but it's like I'd rather sit here and keep the commentary run
I mean,
going.
I'd like to take part.
So-
I just wish I could get off work quicker.
So the idea of the tankard challenge is that it essentially is almost like a title belt. So you
Basically, if you remember the old Pirate King challenges we used to do, which was quite...
no, it is very different. From
WWE
those.
It's a little bit different,
challenge belts.
but it's a little
Or
bit different.
Robot
We
Wars,
actually
if you
have
like
an
those
actual
ones.
representation of a belt now, if you can call it that. Someone with a tankard, someone will play this tournament, someone will win the tankard, and whoever holds the tankard holds the championship. However, if you defend the tankard, you must use the exact same list as you used to when you obtained the tankard.
Elliot, can I make an official challenge right here, right now?
You may.
God, here we go.
When the first person to win that tankard, I issue a challenge to whoever that is. But I may have mentioned it once this morning. Oh, sorry, this evening. I get confused with times now. This is good. I mentioned it earlier. It was something that Wojtek passed the other day as a little sort of like chat discussion, which was the use of generics. So you see a lot of like high caliber aces, but what Wojtek was looking at is basically saying you are not allowed to use uniques. So that's unique pilots, unique
So
upgrade
basically-
cards, unique titles.
A non-unique tournament, essentially.
However, you cannot use the same upgrade or pilot card from what you've got left, so the generics, more than once.
So you have to have different ships with different.
So it's a
no repeats. Basically, everything.
it's
is,
a non-unique unique list.
Yes.
everything is limited essentially.
Basically, everything unique you throw out the window. Then everything that's left becomes unique. Is the simplest way I can say it.
It's an interesting format.
That's an interesting format. It's
Is
very limited, though.
Very limited.
You say that.
I mean,
played.
admittedly,
Plus, part of the fun for me is, I have these unique, amazing pilot abilities. Which, yes, okay, there's a lot that don't get played, but it takes half the fun away from me if it's just, I roll up, I roll my dice, and
I mean,
that's it.
it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
It's
As a thing, I played 2 games of this last night. I played against my teammate from a couple of weeks back, Tom High, and Toby. Both of them were really, really close. And we both came up, but between the 3 of us, we had me playing Scum, which is weird and odd, Tom playing Rebel, and Toby playing his Imperial stuff. So my challenge will be my generic list that I've built for that against the first tankard winner.
You'll probably lose, no disrespect.
Oh, hey, come on! At least it'll be fun, and we sort of get, it'll be interesting to see how it can be done. Seeing like these aces against the generics.
in a tournament format where it's all the same people. Yes, in a actual game, I'd say no.
Right,
Sorry, Dave.
so yeah, this will be kicking off on Wednesday, and it'll be starting at 5:45. So very early.
Very early.
But it's-
Very early for us.
Well, it's because I'm also not only running the stream, I have to also do the pairings, technically speaking, which that's going to be after fun. After learning how to do that. Well, I'll get Cryodex and we'll use it. We'll do it live here on stream.
Or we use the Wojtek method.
Given that Wojtek is not running it, we'll do it.
Come up with something.
We'll come up with something. Yeah, that kicks off from 5:45. 3 rounds, limited to 3 rounds, no top cut. The absolute winner will get this.
Yeah.
Not this.
Not that.
This.
This.
I held this up too early.
The tankard challenge. And if anyone may challenge for it, and anyone must use the same list for it. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, and also this is the link back to tonight. Wave 11 has been deemed legal for this challenge, so you'll be seeing this again on Wednesday.
Wave 11 is legal for the tankard challenge.
So yeah, that's how I tied everything all back together. See, neat.
So,
All right, we got some time.
20-ish minutes.
We got some time.
No
So
time.
I'm going to ask you, Chris, the same question I asked everyone else. And
Okay.
I'll extend the
Okay.
question once again to David as well. We looked at Wave 11.
Well, I've looked at 2 ships of Wave 11
Well, yeah.
and
Well,
also
yeah.
seen a little bit of Wave of one of them.
Wave 12 or next release. What
Couldn't
would
call
you
it.
like to see? Even if it's just one upgrade, what would you like to see?
Am I a terrible person for wanting to see a Naboo starfighter?
No, you're not.
I am.
You are not.
joined the club on that.
You've joined the club. You've joined the club.
Am I terrible for wanting to see a rebel Naboo starfighter?
That is the first thing we all mentioned.
I don't care what people say about the prequels. I really do not. Phantom Menace was my first film, my first Star Wars film. So I cannot hate on a film that got me into the franchise.
Well, it's weird because you and I are about a year apart. aren't we?
Yeah, we're about a year apart.
Um,
You kind of watched the old ones.
I just started with the original
I
trilogy,
got
yes.
into Star Wars because of Phantom Menace. I then watched the old ones and really loved the whole franchise.
Well, in my
essentially, Phantom Menace was my gateway.
in my opinion, it's become a thing to rag on.
Yeah,
the
exactly,
I mean,
so-
yes, okay, they're not perfect as movies. They have their
No,
problems,
no,
but
but-
there's still an interesting story there.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of me is feeling like saying, but it feels like that's going to be a bad point of, find me a movie that doesn't have something bad about it.
There will be a lot of people that say this
Exactly.
film, this film.
The trouble is,
let's put it this
the
way:
whole-
Jurassic Park sucks as a movie if you actually break it down. It absolutely falls apart if you break it down properly and look at it properly from a critical perspective.
You will always have an opinion on something.
Oh yeah,
There will be no amounts of I'm right, you're wrong.
oh no,
Because
there'll never be that.
we live in a world of opinions.
The world is grey and all different vivid colours, not just black and white.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, one person is going to say like, "Oh, this film's amazing," or "This thing's amazing." Another person's going to go, "It sucks. Why do you even bother?"
Which
You know.
that's the thing I hate. Everyone's like, "Why do you bother?" It's like, because we enjoy it. But
Yeah, exactly,
I get
but,
your
you
point.
know,
You enjoy
yeah.
the prequels. I'm like, I enjoy them. You know, there's nothing
You
wrong with
love,
them.
I love everything about Star Wars. Like,
I'm
at the very
going
end
to
of the
say
day,
I sit in the middle on this. I prefer 4, 5, 6.
I do as well.
Because of the storyline.
Yeah, I do.
But I do
Do
love
not get
some
me
of those
wrong.
moments of seeing how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. That is still a really, really
See-
nice story.
I agree.
see, no one said what I preferred. I said I couldn't hate on a film that could open the gateway to Star Wars. I never said it was my preference. So shame on both of you. For
I never said that.
Shame on both of you. But
No, but I said I'm going to
Basically,
sit there between people
the
saying...
whole point I was making was because it was the gateway film. I want something to be brought forward from that gateway film for me.
Well,
and the
we-
Boo Starfighter.
You know what the haters will say? They'll say, "Yeah, the Ark." But it's like,
I was going to
yeah.
say,
What's
the
wrong
Ark...
with the Ark?
The
No-
Ark is a Clone Wars
nothing.
ship.
They'll just say
so
that
it came down
they'll-
from the prequels.
They'll say, "Oh, you want a prequel ship? There is one, the Ark. There you go. You've got a prequel ship. Now be happy." But yeah, I don't. I think Star Wars is a very large universe. It's a very large game. There is no end in sight for this game. I'm content and would love to see an N1. in the
I
game.
would love to see a I would love to see a Naboo Starfighter purely because it's from my gateway film and because it's a cool fighter. Like the whole sleek design and the
Well, that's the thing. We've discussed this before. I never got people's problem with that because yes, it's sleek and it doesn't really fit the used aesthetic of Star Wars. But Star Wars is so large. Surely there would be a side
Exactly.
that has
It
a
fit-
sleek ship that is.
it fits the planet it comes from.
You're not gonna have a royal. You're not gonna have a royal fleet consisting of rusted old rust buckets.
Exactly.
That,
It fits the theme of where it's from. It comes from a very educated planet.
civilized.
Civilized, educated planet, where they have ships that were sleek fighters. They didn't do barrels, and they relied on speed and heavy, fast speed maneuvers.
They were more ceremonial than they were
Exactly.
actual.
Well,
Exactly.
saying of fast maneuvers, the Wookiee gunship. I was making a comment earlier. Have you realised that if you put 9 num on there, you've got no red maneuvers on the Wookiee gunship?
That is true. That is true. But yeah, I'd like to see that. Another ship I would like to see is from one of the games, and I can't remember what it's called now. And it's
Describe it to me.
the TIE Hunter.
Oh, the Hunter, the S-foil.
Yes, the S-foil hunt, the TIE Hunter. Purely because I like the design. I like the sort of the half X-wing, half TIE fighter design.
It's also, I think, when it comes to the actual blades, it's the sharpest.
Yes,
in
exactly.
How it looks.
So,
it looks, it's like an interceptor, but more aggressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, if that were possible.
And ever since I saw that specific TIE fighter, I just like the design. I like the idea of this S-foil version TIE fighter that was meant to combat X-wings.
What about you, David?
Well, I made the comment earlier as a, if as a card, I would say R4 because you get yes, I know it's prequels, but you've got R2, D2 for and Luke. You've got several other like big characters and their droids. If you want to say like Hera and Chopper, for example, as a weird combo. But you say like you've got aces or whatever with their droids already. I would like to see R4.
I'd like to see Chopper as an astromech.
I would as well. And something that helps the Y-Wing at the same time for purposes.
I have 2 questions for both of you.
Oh.
Go on.
First one. Scum Epic. We've seen the Sea Rock.
The Marauder Corvette. Basically a big gun as a ship. That's basically what it is. It's got this massive...
It's a ship surrounding a gun.
My answer is going to be far less dignified and say, a ship with guns, go.
I am a little bit more class. I guess I'm a little bit more classier.
Probably is an idea, though, because you
Oh,
take...
it's not Marauder.
You take the whole idea of the Sea Rock was a modified Gazanti. You think second Scum Epic, is that not going to be a take on another epic ship?
Is it Crusader?
And they've modified it?
I'm looking at, actually, it's these ones, the Aggressor,
I think it'd be too big.
I think that'd be too big as well. Let's
It'd be
have
too
a
big.
look. Let's have a look, see what we got here. So...
personally, one ship I would like to mention, or first mention, the YV-929, or 926, I can't remember what it's called. It's an amalgamation of numbers.
God.
That big, hulky vessel with loads of gun turrets placed on the side of it.
Thing is, I just don't think that looks cool. Whereas this, the Crusader Corvette, I think this looks absolutely amazing.
I think that's
do you
quite
want
cool.
to put the camera on this?
I will. I'm now about to check.
Give him.
Let's show them the money.
There we go.
There we go. The
I'll buy one of
Crusader
those.
Corvette, and here's a dimensional breakdown as well. Probably taken me to a website which I don't want to go to. So there you go, a Crusader class Corvette. This is a look at the front of the. This is concept art, of course, but look at that. Doesn't that look absolutely
I
gorgeous?
like the pipes coming off the side.
Hey,
yeah.
That's quite cool.
I like how you've got basically Palo flying right next to it.
No, that is the back. That is
That's the back of it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that is the back of the ship.
That's the cool ship, I will admit. As I said, if you want to bring the ship I said up about, I know you said you don't like it, but
Well, I've just tried to search for it and I've got nothing. Is that
the
is
YV-929.
99? That one?
This ship. Now, personally, I quite liked it. I don't. It's this huge, bulky thing.
First thoughts. It feels like a Jakku.
I mean, I can see that as well.
It's got the sporting look of a Mist Hunter.
I think it's too small for a.
Yeah.
For a.
I don't know. It's meant to be about the same
imagine
size
how
as a C90.
CR90. Oh, okay.
One issue. If you try and build that, what's the way that plastic going to be like?
Well, here's the thing.
how many pegs
the
are you gonna have to hold it
really
up?
cool thing about this is all of its guns are mostly forward-facing as well. So it has a range of guns, but it's actually mainly forward-facing guns. So it'd be one of those
Front arc
only ships, which I think would be quite an
This
interesting
was
thing.
it. The Aggressor class destroyer firing its main guns.
Basically a ship surrounding a gun.
Yeah, that.
But I think it's a capital ship, so...
It is. How big is it? I mean, how big is the CR90 Corvette? Because this thing is. It actually doesn't give.
Dimensions? No.
No, it doesn't give dimensions.
But it does
at
say
all.
Star Destroyer.
Yeah, but so the Raider is kind of classed in that Emperor Star Destroyer, technically speaking. It's not a Star Destroyer, but it could be. There's also the Kelebeb, which is a Mandalorian
Kelebeb.
ship. So yeah,
I was going to say the sort of yellow indicates for me Mandalorian. Is
yeah. Well, they're all. Most of these are Mandalorian ships. So the Vengeance class frigate, that would be too big. But yeah. I think that would be cool.
So they're the two things that I think would be quite cool. Second question, which I need to remember what it was, because would you, yes or no, like to see an expansion based on Clone Wars.
Okay.
Based on Clone Wars, as in terms of episodes 1, 2, 3, Clone Wars the series.
Just based on that era.
Okay.
So basically,
here is
obviously I can understand the arguments.
okay.
Don't.
First, listen to me and say, are we talking about it brings that stuff into X-Wing or its own separate game?
That's a thing we can discuss on as well.
Because if it's its own separate game, I think it's a good idea. But the problem is they're then competing against themselves.
Yeah.
If you bring it into X-Wing,
How would you introduce it?
Yeah, it's the logistics of, is Republic Rebel or is it Imperial? Do you take them under Galactic Empire or under Rebel Alliance, because technically they're the good guys? You know, it becomes a myriad of logistical problems.
You do have some other sort of main issues. You would kind of write Imperials out the game, because I see the Sith more aligning with Scum. I know they've got the Sith Lords, but they're like a collective.
Oh, you mean the Confederacy of Independent Systems?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I could see that. I could see the Trade Federation and the Confederacy of Independent Systems would be more of a Scum sub.
I've got no problem bringing Confederation stuff into Scum as Scum stuff.
Because that means that Scum has two independent factions that could bring it into one, but then you have Rebels who have three then.
I just think they should, I don't see why Scum can't use droid fighters.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true, yeah.
They're droids.
Yeah, that's fair. Which then means the... Okay, next question then. Wave... we'll call it Wave Clone Wars.
Okay.
Rebel. Naboo Starfighter.
Right.
One of the droid fighters for Scum. What would you do for Empire?
This is the problem.
You wouldn't.
This is the problem.
There wasn't an Empire then.
Yeah, but what would be the Empire?
What would be the Empire equivalent, though?
Which somebody would argue is Republic, even though you could argue that.
You could argue that, but
and that's the
issue. The thing. You know, would you put a Republic fighter as a galactic vessel?
I would rather them keep X-Wing. If they're introducing prequel stuff, I'm fine with that. But I'd rather them keep it in the context of the Galactic Civil War, because once you start entering this issue of, do we have them as part of the factions, do we have them as their own factions, you start to get an issue. Like, I know I've seen people make up like this circular thing where the faction is compatible with the faction on the left, but it then gets so complex and confusing that I think you're starting to really make the game too complex at that point.
I can make sense of that.
It becomes... Then, of course, it is also the logistical thing of... Then if you've got to release essentially 6 expansions every wave, which is a lot of work.
I know, it's like... I was meaning in terms of if you brought it into X-Wing as it is. 3 ships, that one wave.
Alright, if I were to bring... Okay. If I were to bring any Scum ships, any prequel ships into the waves as ships, I'd have... Droid Starfighter as a
as a Scum as you said. This is now we get the
no,
problem
because
again.
Could you legitimately have it for both? So you could have it Scum and Imperial?
No, because the Empire just went against basically cleaned up what was left of the CIS.
Yeah.
I'd probably have the Magna Guard fighter. That sounds like it could be its own unique thing, because the thing is, having a droid fighter would be so cheap that, it'd basically be an M3A, or...
You'd have to make it 12
the other cool
though.
thing I'd mention is the Tri-Fighter. The Tri-Droid, I should say.
It's finding a unique place for every ship. I mean, clearly there's a space in Rebels for a cheap 3 attack dice, 3 defense dice ace, aka the Naboo Starfighter.
Because both Imperial and Scum have one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then we get into the issue of Empire.
So obviously you'd find one for Rebels.
V-Wing. The Empire used the V-Wing for a while.
They did use the V-Wing for a while. That is a good shout. I personally think that's
I've
also
never seen the V-Wing.
Shall we bring it up?
Yeah, sure.
Bring up the V-Wing.
See, I'm learning tonight. I'm in the mood for.
In fact, I'll try and pull up an Imperial Grey if I can. No, it's only the Lego version.
I'll see the Lego version.
But you can see one just there. In fact, actually, there's a better picture of it. So there we go. That's the V-Wing, and it has S4s, has closing wings. It also has an astromech slot.
Ooh.
It means we could get Imperial astromechs potentially if they wanted to. But yeah. The PJ's also mentioned the Sith infiltrator that Darth Maul flew.
That's quite an interesting one, yeah.
Thing is, it's more of a stealth transport ship than it is an actual fighter. That's the thing. Scum? Well,
yeah, Scum we said about the droid
Rebel.
fighters. Hello!
That went quite conclusive, didn't it?
That was interesting.
We're discussing potentially Wave 12 and what we'd see. Well,
or currently we're in
I like to call
Wave
it. I like to call it Wave Clone Wars.
yeah, Chris proposed the idea of if there was to be a Clone Wars expansion, what would you like to see in it?
for each
Well, I
faction.
say a Clone Wars wave.
First, I'd like to see Clone Wars. I mean, I shouldn't just say the Naboo N1 Starfighter again.
Yes, everyone's doing it.
Yeah, the other two.
We talked about this.
So we have an idea for all three.
Okay.
So we have said for Rebels the N1 Starfighter,
Yep.
which I think is a good basis for the Rebels to then get their 3 attack, 3 agility cheap ship.
Yeah.
For Imperials, we said the V-Wing. Because they did use the V-Wing briefly in their wars. So it's a good chance for them to use an S-Force, plus allows them to have an astromech.
The problem is I can't find a statistical slot for it. Like what it would do different than the TIE Fighter.
Well, obviously, it could have its own... There could be an Imperial-only droid. Astromech droid.
Well, yeah, but that itself isn't enough to give it ship
No,
its own
obviously,
thing.
yeah. No, it's- but they can work with that, you know.
What kind of ship
And-
was it? Was it like a really, really quick intercepting?
It was...
Kind of was actually an interceptor.
It was an interceptor / munitions. It carried rockets as well.
There you go.
That was more for the arcs, though.
Yeah, but, you know. And finally, one of the droid fighters for Scum.
Oh, so yeah, go with something that's...
So we said either the Vulture droid, which is obviously the most generic one of them all, or the Magna Guard fighter, which was the one of Grievous's bodyguards, their fighters, or the Tri-Droid, which was the droid that looks kind of like a triangle with sort of the rims going down each side.
Or if you want to get really unusual, I know if we would have got her in a game, we could also have the Genevex class Starfighter, because that's so...
That is quite an unusually
so
nice
unusual.
ship, yeah. That is also another
unusual.
cool one.
But yet again, I'm going to say this. I can't see a reason why not, because you've had Sabine Wren.
Solar Sail.
Solar Sail.
That is lovely.
You've had like
Flown by a Star Adventuress herself.
Huh.
So what do you guys think?
I want that.
I
That is
mean,
pretty.
I don't know that we're likely to see a droid ship, but I like the idea of it because it opens up some interesting design space. You could do some things similar
Well,
to
it'll
the
be the second-
IG-2000 title.
Yeah.
You could give a ship that can't take the focus action.
That is true. That is true. The first ever ship that wouldn't be able to take focus because it's a droid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Other than obviously IG, but...
Yeah, I
Droids
think...
have been able
yeah.
to focus already. Chopper can focus. The IG
Yeah.
Nebo can focus.
Yeah, but they're
Curse your droids!
They're advanced droids. We're talking like your run-of-the-mill.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Well, that's to be fair, they are actual pilots, whereas the droid fighters themselves are the ship, aren't they? Which is the idea of obviously the idea of not being able to focus. Would you then include an upgrade that allows them to focus? That's the
Title?
interesting thing.
Probably not.
No. More as a title or anything like that, though.
I'd give them something akin to
Reroll eyeballs
just
as a
like
pilot ability.
some
or-
kind of like something along the lines of the IG-2000 title, where they benefit from having other droid fighters.
That is true.
nearby.
That's
and
cool.
like maybe just make it a like passive, like you can reroll 1 defense dice or like
Yeah.
something
Reroll
like
one
that.
attack dice, or
Yeah.
Maybe instead of re-rolling eyeballs, they can re-roll blanks instead.
Yeah.
And essentially their eyeballs are their blanks for them. So it's the opposite way around. That's cool. Yeah, I like that idea. That's a cool idea.
But yeah, all in all, I think we're all very excited about what could bring. I definitely want there to be a Scarif expansion SFG.
Yeah, agreed.
Y-Wings,
Take
X-Wings,
note.
and even the E-Wings do need a push, so if you can
E-Wing,
find a
yeah.
way to get the E-Wing, give the E-Wing a push, please. Yeah.
Something for a B-wing wouldn't go amiss.
In fact, yeah.
I mean,
Well-
I'm assuming we're more or less a kind of they release a Scarif pack, they sell 5 copies to the people in this room.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yes.
I'd buy 2.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
what's it?
but like it's that seems like an easy sale to me.
It does. I think you'd sell it just on the basis of it being Rogue One itself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, A, it's Rogue One, and B, I personally, from my point of view, I love Y-Wings more than I love X-Wings, but I don't dislike X-Wings at the same time. You see what I'm saying there?
I want my General Merrick card, gosh darn it.
General Merrick.
Like,
Yes.
That's a moustache that needs to be immortalised in X-Wing form.
I want to see the crew card of this. Just because I want to see this moustache, you know.
What the hell is that? That's a very small image.
So, ladies and
Tiny one,
gentlemen, there's
the
the
Kanan, the last
Kanan.
Padawan comic.
Yes. It was basically the guy saying there's a very cool looking ship on the cover of the Young Kanan comics.
There's an
Which is
art
that which is that ship that's just in the background there. If we can get a bigger image of that, I will. There it is.
Oh,
There's the
that's
essentially
the
flying
arcs.
with the arc, but
That's like almost like a proto U-wing almost. That's very unusual.
I wonder if they said in the comic what kind of starfighter that is. I'm hoping
I think it's a
Lazy Gourmet will let us know. Elliot,
I am wondering if we'll see the Archangel.
that is yeah.
Because again, we're like digging into the comics here.
I mean,
but
if you're not
it's-
going to talk into the comics, the recent Han Solo miniseries had some lovely ship designs that could go to the scum.
Oh, I love that. I love the photo of that one in the
'cause
blue.
That was a whole
Is that
bunch
it?
of illegal
Yeah, yeah.
racers.
The fourth one there is
in
one
big
I
base
love the
things.
most.
the Azure Angel.
You could quite easily make something scum out of those.
So yeah, the Archangel's got some interesting. Like, it's an interesting shaped ship.
Yes.
I could see that having some stuff.
Well, it
And
looks kind of like the same kind of design as the fire spray.
I think
A
we've
little.
already had two of the characters from that comic arc introduced into Imperial Assault as well.
Yes.
The two droids.
Yeah.
Also, Vanna Sage, her ship, because since we've now done one of the ships from Star Wars Starfire. Let's keep it going. She has her own ship, which is the Guardian Mantis, which is this little thing here.
Yeah, that's a cool.
Yeah,
That's a cool little
alright.
ship. Yeah.
That is like a B wing.
Though that is a special kind of storage nightmare.
Yes.
Would you have the wings move? Yes or no?
Well, if they can
Yes.
fold down, then that'd be
easier.
That'd be
Because
That'd
then
be
you could have them
easier.
fold in.
Folded and just snug into a hangar bay.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, so that's what I would also like to see. We're just basically wish listing.
I think
at
we're
this
just
point.
wish listing
Yeah.
at this point. You know.
Yeah,
We're
like-
like,
Yeah, again.
we want this. We want this. We want this.
We want
Get on
the
it.
things, we want the things, FFG. Gives the things.
Realistically,
All of them.
But
we're going to get the Resistance A-wing.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going
The
to
Mark
get,
II,
We're
yeah.
going to get Kylo Ren's Interceptor.
Yeah.
Because like we've seen the Lego set for that.
oh god, yes.
So those are both things that's going to happen.
We'll get things from Last Jedi.
So well, we have a little bit of
Soon.
time
Well,
left.
we've got to wrap it
We've
up.
got to wrap it up.
soon.
Oh, such a
Yeah.
shame.
What were you
Yeah.
going to ask? That's
I was actually going to
final
ask,
piece.
how did you both find the game?
Good question.
I enjoyed it.
No, yeah.
Whether or not West did is another matter because
no, it was-
he was on the receiving end of some brutally hot red dice.
And the worst
They
bit was
were,
from his
but,
own list.
No,
Friendly
no,
fire?
no.
Question mark.
That's not the. No. Honestly, going in there, it's fine. Whatever happened, my list was going to win. So that's all right.
yeah.
Hey, there's somebody sitting not too far away from you who also had that same thing work for him once when he played
You
me.
know, yeah.
Kestel's good.
Yeah. no,
Deadeye
she's
Kestel
nice.
is strong. I never kicked her ability off because I was struggling to get arc because I got thrown out of position by the space tug.
Yeah.
But even so, she feels good.
Yeah.
And like there were one or two opportunities where it would have been nice to be able to throw
To use that.
to throw those blanks and focuses out. But
But
I can definitely see the potential.
I'm very happy with Deadeye Sync Turret on Kestrel. I think was worked quite nicely. The one chance I got to pull it off, Genius Nim.
Oh,
I love that.
It's
It
a
was so
joy.
cool.
Yeah, like that was 5 points of damage across my list straight out.
Yeah, just right there.
Five points effectively for naught
also
in terms
utilising
of points
Cad Bane as
outlay.
well.
Yeah, having Cad Bane in there. The first one I saved him because I wanted to make sure to get at least 2 shields off quick draw. But
That's
quick
what
draw
we were
got
saying.
2 naturally and it was fine. So it was just spend on the last one because
Yeah.
well, you know, it's the one.
Surprised you
there.
didn't do a bit more damage to Vader.
No, because Vader won first.
Oh,
I
Vader.
wanted to make sure to get
You saved it,
2
yeah, that makes
on
sense.
quick draw
Yeah.
to get rid of the shields.
If he had hindsight, obviously he would have
You
done
would
it
have done it the other way
anyway.
around, but
I mean, that would require knowing exactly what
Yeah.
the quick draw dice were going to do. I think I made the right call.
who
You did.
decides
You
the
did.
order on the bombs, anyways?
Yeah, that exciting moment where we had bomb goes off on Vader, bomb goes off on quick draw. We have to stop and resolve quick draw's attack before we finish launching the bomb.
Bomb goes
Because
off on
that's the
Kestrel.
thing. That's the thing. Actually, I need to check in the rules. Like, which player resolves
it's-
bombs?
it's
The
in
person
what order?
the person who owns the ship, and because it's happening all at the same time, they choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's right, but I will. I'm going to double check that one.
All right. Also, PJ, just to answer your question, I don't think it's a problem if you boost the X-wing and have Biggs as he is, just as long as the X-wing's fix doesn't boost
Boost
Biggs
Biggs.
itself.
The
As
X-wing
long as-
doesn't. As long as the X-wing boost doesn't need to be a survivability boost, they've got one of those.
Yeah.
It was instigated to make. That's
They
fine.
need an offensive boost.
Yes, because that doesn't really help Biggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Biggs is going to die too rapidly to get that much use out of it most games.
Yeah, they've had their survivability boost, and it was integrated astromech.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's done. Give them something to attack with.
Agreed. Right, that's it from us. Thank you all for joining us for these last
4 hours.
4
now.
hours pretty much of discussion. Thank you for joining us in the booth with Christina, our special best commentator. Thank you to our 3 unboxers, Mr. David Lincoln, Max Bull,
Who's hiding
and
around
Robert
the corner.
Farndon.
Getting it.
My name's
Hello.
Philip Baker as well. So we wish you all a good night. We hope you all enjoy your Wave 11 stuff. And we hope to see you this weekend without your Wave 11 stuff, but at our store championships.
But you might actually see all of us there because you're playing, Max.
I'll be there.
Robin's playing.
Yeah.
I'll be judging and
T.O. commentary team.
So there we go. We'll
There you
be
go.
here
We
as
can
well.
all
We'll
see us
all
all.
Turn up.
see
Place
you
this
there.
place, It'll be great.
Yes.
See you Saturday, everyone. Good night.
Good night,
Good night all.
Follow next.